Welcome back to Echoes of Time. Today we share a story not about fame or power, but about kindness and humanity. It is the story of Judge Frank Caprio, the man the world came to know as America's nicest judge. Even in his final days, he continued to give the world hope and compassion. At the age of 88, Judge Frank Caprio passed away after a long and courageous battle with pancreatic cancer. Just hours before his passing, he shared one last video message from his hospital bed. His voice was fragile, but his spirit remained strong. He said, "Your prayers will lift my spirit." Those few words touched millions. They were simple but filled with humility, honesty, and faith. People from all corners of the world sent him messages of love, encouragement, and gratitude. They thanked him for reminding them that goodness still exists, even in unexpected places. For decades, Judge Caprio sat on the bench in Providence, Rhode Island. His cases were often small: traffic tickets, parking violations, everyday mistakes. Yet what made him extraordinary was the way he treated each person who stood before him. He did not see them as criminals or burdens. He saw them as human beings, each with a story, each deserving of respect. He listened with patience. He forgave with grace. He made people laugh in moments of stress. He even invited children to help him make decisions, turning the courtroom into a place of fairness, warmth, and sometimes even joy. Where many saw punishment, he saw an opportunity to show compassion. Clips from his courtroom spread across the internet, turning him into a global sensation. Through his show Caught in Providence, billions of people watched a judge who dismissed fines for struggling parents, who gave second chances to those who had lost hope, and who treated the poorest among us with the same dignity as the powerful. For many viewers, he became more than a judge. He became a grandfather figure. A man who proved that even in a world of rules and penalties, kindness could prevail. But Frank Caprio was more than what the cameras showed. He was a devoted husband, a loving father, a proud grandfather, and a man of deep faith. Friends and family say he rarely raised his voice in anger, but often in laughter. His home was open, his heart even more so. To him, faith was not just a belief, it was a way of life, guiding him to treat others with respect, love, and compassion. When cancer came into his life, he faced it with the same courage and openness he carried in the courtroom. He did not hide from it. Instead, he shared his journey with the world, letting people see his vulnerability and strength. His final video, in which he asked for prayers, was not a farewell in his eyes, but in the end, it became exactly that. It was his last gift, an example of humility, courage, and trust in humanity. The news of his passing has left millions grieving. Tributes filled social media. People remembered how his laughter once made them smile, how his words once brought them comfort, how his fairness changed the way they saw justice. His death feels personal, even to those who never met him in real life. That is the mark of a true legacy, when someone can touch the hearts of strangers and leave them changed forever. What makes it even more heartbreaking is the timing. His last words were not about fear or pain, but about connection and hope. He reminded his followers that even in weakness, he was still thinking of them. He left this world the way he lived in it, by giving. Judge Frank Caprio may be gone, but the lessons he shared will never fade. He showed us that empathy is not weakness but strength, that justice without compassion is hollow, and that one person's kindness can ripple across the entire globe. In the end, his courtroom was never just about laws or tickets. It was about humanity. That is why his passing feels so deeply personal to so many people. His last words, "As I continue this difficult battle, your prayers will lift my spirit," will now remain his parting gift to the world. And though his voice is silent, his legacy speaks louder than ever. Judge Frank Caprio died at 88, but the values he lived by, kindness, compassion, humility, will continue to live on in the hearts of millions. His life reminds us all that goodness never dies. This was today's story here on Echoes of Time. May it remind us to carry forward the compassion he showed, so that his flame of kindness continues to shine, even in his absence.